All right, guys. So up next, we will have Lucky Pradana from Wahyoo, who will be talking about Speedy mobile development using Flutter. Lucky is currently a mobile engineer at Wahyoo. He's a CSS, Flutter, and Clojure enthusiast. He has also done talks in other events before, including Flutter Jakarta, Surabaya GS, Android Dev Surabaya, and GDG Surabaya. So everyone, please welcome Lucky Pradana.
Lucky, just a quick thing, you're still muted. Oh, Lucky, you're still muted.
Oh, thank
There
you.
you go.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me introduce myself again. Hi, my name is Lucky Pradana, but you can call me Lucky. So currently, I'm work at Wahyoo as a mobile engineer, and I also CSS closure, and I think it's kind of a bit that refactoring enthusiast. it's not. It's not. It's just a joke. I also doing CSS because I was a front end developer before Wahyoo, and I decided to explore more about Flutter, and I also like Clojure for fun. And deleting your friends and or colleague code is also fun. That means refactoring enthusiast. And yeah, I also sometimes active in Flutter local community like Flutter Jakarta and Flutter Indonesia because I basically love community and sharing each other's. Me and my friends also met Surabaya JS and Android Surabaya, and I also volunteered in GDG Surabaya as a Flutter speaker. So let's get started to Flutter. So in this kind of morning to afternoon, I try to introduce you Flutter for those who already been there and making products. This talk will also give you some fast tips when using Flutter. So that's why this talk is gonna be speedy mobile development using Flutter, but I need to introduce the Flutter first. So Flutter is a UI toolkit for building native compiled application for mobile, web, and even desktop from a single code base. So you can basically make every apps using one single code base and compile it to mobile, web, and desktop without changing the maybe adding some code of that using Spirit code to make it different. So Flutter has a reason for me personally why I love Flutter is the ease of development and code reload. Uh, it helps a lot when you're doing such a building an UI or just some changes in your logic. It's also expressive and flexible UI. Flutter also lets you to customize the widget and make your own widget. Like maybe you can add some styles when you are using text or uh, modifying the rounded of the buttons or the elevation of the buttons. Flutter also has a flexible design. It uses principle like flexbox, or you can just calculate the pixel or the size of the widget. And Flutter is kind of different. It has native performance, but in a different way to approach that. In order to make something appear in the app, unlike the others, like maybe React Native or Ionic, or maybe even native, Flutter is using the canvas or accessing the native canvas of each platform to draw everything in a place. So in a compare, maybe React Native uses JavaScript, to access native components like button or another native components, but Flutter is just draw the button inside the canvas. So if you have a button, yeah, Google is that crazy that they make every components of a material design and cartoon design to be used in Flutter. And Flutter now support to be compiled to Android, iOS, and the new Google OS Fuchsia or Fuchsia. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. And also, you can make Flutter run on your desktop, like Mac OS or Linux. I think it's Windows is on early progress, and you could also run Flutter to the web. It was called Flutter Hummingbird, but now it's just Flutter for web. And Flutter is also using the different languages that maybe you never tried before. It's called Dart. So Dart is a language that Google has made. So Flutter is almost all of the Flutter code base is also built in Dart because Flutter apps are compatible to native code, and also Dart is compatible to native code, so they don't require a slow bridge like JavaScript does to React Native. And Dart is not language that you might be struggle for, because Dart is more likely like a Java, but you can do style of JavaScript. It's mix of the languages that you can think of, and also that is easy to learn, I think, because yeah, you can compare your favorite programming languages and the Dart, and it does the same. That also you can also specify the type of data like you use in Java or Swift or Kotlin, and also you can just use var like JavaScript to declare a variable like that. Flutter is kind of easy to learn, trademark. So for those who confused to start learn Flutter and you have a background from another front-end development, you can go to flutter.dev, and there are complete guide that compare how things work, and whether you are from web development, React Native, iOS developer, and Android developer, even Xamarin.forms. Yeah, it's kind of pretty crazy that this was like a shock me really hard, because I I never met the some UI toolkit that this has the complete documentation for migrating the your from the side of the front-end developer like React Native or Xamarin Forms development. And it's just an intermezzo that Flutter has a web-based animation app called Drive. It was called Flare by seconddimensions.com. You could make a second dimension animation, and import it to your Flutter app and use it as a model, animation model. And there is an update recently on the second version of Rive that they rewrite the animation software, using Flutter. So you could go check out Rive.app later if you're also interested in animations. And the point of the stock is how fast. So maybe this question comes to your mind when they read the title of the talk. but actually you can actually measure this. But the developer experience that Flutter gave, that you are using Flutter, you can even code UI and logic without so much effort. It also has hot reload that I mentioned before, that you can change your code or change your simple logic, and it changes to a simulator or device that you are run Flutter to. And the first thing you need to know is reserved widget. So Flutter has hundreds of widget, but actually you don't really need that much to build your first app. So I have some tips that maybe you can use in your next apps, because yeah, Flutter is easy to learn for me and for others, but it's too many choices because Google let you choose the whether this or that and using this widget or another, and other resources too, that so many choices of package or plugin that you can use in Flutter. And it makes your mobile development needs time to decide to which package or plugin that you have to use. So here's some points that you can maybe write it down to your needs in your next app that you may build. So the first one is route. So I'm going to say that you have to navigate to somewhere else and don't really need fancy transition. You can use name route, and the other reason is when you're using Firebase Dynamic Link uh, or pass route from the notification to your app. It is a type of string, so you can directly navigate and pass an argument using pass data that you have. Because Flutter has I think some of the choices of the route that you can customize the animation of your navigation, that you can differently pass data using navigator without naming the navigator like that. So I just suggest you to use name route to make it easy. And the second is state management. I would suggest you the provider. It's a common package that people use for development in Flutter. There are couples of state managements in Flutter, like provider I mentioned there, such as SmokeX, Redux, Block, business logic component, etc. But I suggest you to use provider because it's simpler than the others. You don't need to generate something or you read something unnecessary. You read something you just need to. As you can see in the screen, provider has just three steps: the declaration, the the model, and the usage. So you can call every variable inside the change notifier of the provider using a context. Next is dependency injection. For this, using state management like MVVM, maybe getting data by passing your activity context is kind of pain and not practical when you're using MVVM pattern. You could use Git to help you get through that and declare the locator to get the data and send the data wherever you want. Sorry. And next is model generation. So you can actually generate the model. You could also write it by yourself, but it's let them work for you. You can use JSON serializable to generate your model. And next local database. So there's some local database. The first one is set preferences. It's just for saving the simple data like string or list of string or just a boolean. Second is more. For those who don't know, more is just a backpass of Room. If you're from Android development background, you may be familiar with Room. It's a SQLite kind of library that helps you to generate the model of the database, and you just call the DAO from it. Also, it one small it's called Hive. So it is a NoSQL library that you can use same as Moore, but it is a NoSQL. And for the API request, you can use Duo. It's basically wraps the HTTP package that Flutter has, but it can be customized. So you can put some interceptor inside of Duo. And also the next one is GraphQL Flutter. If you are using GraphQL instead of SAPI. And the common widget that you might use in Flutter, it's listed in Flutter widget catalog. It documented really well. You should check it in Flutter.dev. But there are some widget that frequently used in your project. The first one is like text, button, scaffold, up bar, something like that. It's just repeatedly used in your project. So you just don't really need to remember which widget is which to use. Yeah, you should check the Flutter widget catalog. And the package, for a package, you could go to pub.dev. It's a site like Android Arsenal, I guess, in Android native development. Pub.dev provides you hundreds of packages also that you can search there, and you just put that in pubstack.yaml in your Flutter project. And next is DIY native plugin. So in Flutter, there's three choices when you're making a Flutter project. The first one is just Flutter application. It's just Flutter application that you can run to your devices. And the second is packages. So the packages is just a basically library that just access or a list of your functions that you can put and share to people. And the third one is plugin. It's kind of same of packages, but with plugin you can access the native side of the device. For example, for iOS, I can access the native set using Swift or Objective-C, and for Android, I can use Kotlin or Java. It's called meta channel to access that. So, and the last one is linter. So if you're a collaborative person and you want to work with other people to code together, you should use linter. You could visit the Flutter repository to quick analysis underscore options.yaml to start your project. I think this talk is more than how I give you some like tips, I think. So I think this is for me. You can visit Flutter _ID or Flutter _GKT to maybe ask more about Flutter and to learn more about Flutter, I'm sorry I missed the link below, and you can talk to me in Telegram, also at @. Thank you. Maybe